Today is Thursday, September the 17th, 2015. Time being 2:56 p.m. Central Time or Charleston, Missouri time. I'm asking everybody that's listening to this YouTube video that I'm about to make, I'm asking you, if you haven't viewed my YouTube channels, I ask you to not only view my two YouTube channels, but also I ask you to subscribe to them and hear my message against this town in Charleston, Missouri. My one YouTube channel is Raymond, R-A-Y-M-O-N-D, Ivy, I-V-Y, YouTube channel. My other one, all this is spelled together in lower caps, I-V-Y, R-A-Y-L-O-U-I-S. Then separate YouTube channels. I also ask you to join me or follow me on Facebook under Raymond, R-A-Y-M-O-N-D .ivy.5 at Facebook.com. That's I-V-Y that is. Today I want to tell you about a plot with these city, public, state, federal, private officials, also even the NAACP president, and most of all of his members, most of these preachers, all here in Charleston, Missouri, who has ties to Jefferson City, which is the capital of the state of Missouri, have some ties in Washington, D.C. They have ties with Children and Family Services, the Department of Aging, even in Jefferson City with the director of the Child Advocacy. I want to show you the plots that they have been making against me since I've been down here in these 19 years. Standing up, just merely standing up against injustices. They don't like that. Now, the first time, the only time that I was arrested in this town was about 15 years ago, June the 25th or the 26th of 2000, about 2 o'clock in the morning. The Lieutenant Robert Hearns, who's the chief of police now, look at the police report that him and a white officer by the name Beth Acap wrote against me. And the lieutenant never came to court. I'm going to leave that there for right now. But I want you to look at the YouTube video that I just made, which it ain't but a couple of minutes, on September the 12th, 2015, when this black sergeant, Percy Owens, was coming towards me with an assault rifle saying that I was refusing to comply, to move back. My camera would surely show on the side that he was on, which was on the side of the trunk of his car, everything in the back of his trunk of the car, that was the shooting scene and the crime scene. And if you can hear and you can see clearly that all them adults and children was out there, one even hollered out saying, F you, Raymond. But yet he coming at me because I'm videoing, showing that him and all the ranking police officers, his chief, they're not protecting the black neighborhoods. When my house got shot up on August the 29th of 2015, the chief sat in his SUV right in front of my house. They didn't have no automatic weapons out. They didn't tell the people that was standing out there who was being able to collect the evidence and run off with it. They didn't tell none of them to move back. But why did he tell me to move back? Because I'm revealing what he did. I'm going to tell you a few things with him. Go back and look at May the 19th, a few minutes after midnight, 2008. Who came in my house with a white officer who he seen what they was doing. Afterwards, he quit. Who came in my house, held me at gunpoint, and gave my then 1- and 2-year-old daughters to their known heroin crack addict / sleeping with Officer Percy and Lester Gillespie and anybody else to get drugs or get what she want. Ex-wife then and my children's mother, knowing she was on the streets. Percy Owens. On November the 8th, 2011, who was on the scene when the 34-year-old black mentally ill guy was killed here in Charleston, Missouri? And they took everybody's cameras, they phones who was taking pictures. Who was on the scene? Sergeant Percy Owens, the chief of police, Robert Hearns, the murderer, Keith Bedford, who shot him twice after he was already tased twice. Keith Bedford was taken off the East Prairie Police Department for shooting a black down there, which is 7 miles away from here, East Prairie, Missouri. But Bobby Hearns put him back on this force because his mother, Brenda Bedford, is a police, and his uncle, David Harris, works at City Hall for 20 years, running the water department. And he's a school board member for the Charleston R1 corrupted school system. But Percy Owens was there. Who was working at Suzanne Wesley and had knowledge to know that when they took my daughter's mother down to the Suzanne Wesley's shelter for women, Lester Gillespie knew. See, she took the GED there at Suzanne Wesley when I first brought her down here. And every time I went down there, you could smell weed and everything else. Less than them, and they have drug dealers and everything working down there. Why ain't none of them complaining about this violence? Because they caught up in this corruption in this town. They ain't worried about this police substation here at 702 Vine Street not being occupied because the Charleston Housing Authority Director, Paul Page, and the Charleston, Missouri Police Department, who's the director-in-chief of the police department and the fire department, they can't even put out a fire. Bobby Hearns, they supposed to be running that. On the other side of my bushes, when you look at my YouTube videos, people hang there. I tell Paul Page, can you get them away from that? Because my children don't want to get shot if they get to arguing. They don't want to be smelling this dope. They don't want to see all these liquor bottles thrown in our yard. But Paul Page want me to take pictures. It ain't my job. You got a big camera right in front of your face at 700 Cy William Drive at the Housing Authority or Elm Street, where you can look at it. The same with the police department downtown, where it's safe for him and those people that live in that area. You have big screen TVs. They now plotting. Why do they want to take my children? They want to try to arrest me for anything. This same Sergeant Percy Owens on May the 19th, 2015, when I had my cameraman Whitney was videoing me telling about all the shootings here on the 18th on back of May of 2015. Then we go by to Lincoln School showing all the corrupted people that work there, Lester Gillespie and all the rest of them. Anybody that work up in there just about is corrupted. Family and Friends is running all the programs, the government program, but ain't concerned about none of this violence. But Percy Owens went to Buck Whitney, his cousin's house. Him and two white police threatened him if he gave me the DVD and I published it on YouTube that they was going to arrest both of us for trespassing on Lincoln School parking lot. Said it's private. It's not private, it's public. Percy Owens. Now he's plotting again because people went to looking at that video when he had that automatic weapon against me. If they arrest me, it'll be for something illegally. But if they come in my house like Percy Owens did before and don't have no warrant or no just for cause, I would protect my 9- and 10-year-old daughter by any means necessary. I don't care what type of uniform you got on. I'm prepared for combat. I grew up in Cabrini Green. I know how to deal with y'all. Peace. Be still.